Hey everyone, welcome back to Norton Comics. I'm John, and we're going to look at a couple of Wolverine issues drawn by Adam Kubert because I want to look at this. I mean, look at that cover. How fucking cool is this cover? Forget that for a second. Look at that. I mean, that is just this image just captured me. It's so good, and the black and the white with the red on there, very Sin City-esque. It's just. I mean, it's a cover of nothing, just his head. You know, they had to move the font down. Usually the font is at the, like the title is at the top. But they moved it down so they could put this in there. I wonder if, they were like, hey, just draw something cool. Or if Adam Kubert just thought of this cover. And then they're like, fuck, man. Like, let's put that on. Like, if he drew this, and they're like, let's just make that a cover. Or, like the writer or Marvel was like, hey, we got this idea. Like, what came from that? This cover is so good. It picked me up. Like I had to have this comic book when I saw it as a kid. I wasn't picking up a lot of Wolverine comics at the time. I was still kind of young. I'd read stuff that my brothers would get, and I would get what I could get. When my parents would buy stuff for me. But I just had to have this issue. So this copy is my older brother, not my brother Rob, who has this channel, but our older brother. He has a bunch of comics from the day, and I was scrounging through his stuff, and I ran across this. I'm like, oh my god, I used to have this, and I think it got destroyed in the Great Flood that I've talked about a few times, so I snagged it so I could so we could read it. I mean, the story is okay, but it's just I wanted to showcase this cover. But while I was there, he also had this random comic, so I thought we'd look at both of them really quick. Some old nostalgic 90s Wolverine, Adam Kubert stuff. So this was, issue 81 and 82. Issue 75 was where he lost his metal, so he still has his bone claws. So let's look at this one first. I never read this one as a kid, so I don't really know, and I didn't really flip through this. I mean, it's Wolverine and Nightcrawler fighting Cyber. If you look at Wolverine's claws there, they're all fucked up, because I think Cyber smashed him, stepped on him and broke his claws. So that's kind of a big deal now that Wolverine's claws are just bone. And now they're healing in a strange way. So let's take a look. Like I said, I've never really read this, and I didn't look at this before, so let's discover it together. What are we looking at here? That's his face. Adam Kubert doing some crazy artistic stuff here. He's holding on something. Looks like he's going crazy. When was this done? 1994? May? So, okay, there's Kitty, there's Moira, there's Nightcrawler. I forget her name. She did things and stuff around this time. Looks like Wolverine's going nuts. He's yelling about Magneto. They're all stooges of Magneto. He wants my adamantium. Well, he got it, dude. He got it. Ja, Katzen. And who is this Liedermachen he brought with... I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I'm just making up Nightcrawler shit. So let's just look at the art. I don't really care about the story too much. I mean, this is some cool, black and white shading here. This is a cool image. He's fucking foaming at the mouth. Cool stuff. Nightcrawler and Kitty, classic X-Men characters. Have a long history with Wolverine. Always kind of fun to see them together. Surprised Kitty was never in the X-Men animated series or X-Men 97, at all. I think she was on one of the posters in the final episode. Can't remember. Yeah, his claws are all fucking weird there. They sedate him. Yeah, her name is Zoe of Landau, Luckman and Lake. That's a weird law firm that also does with weird interdimensional cases and stuff like that. Yeah, this character showed up in the crossover Marvel did with Top Cow for a second. I got that book. We'll look at those at some point. That'd be fun. You get to see an issue of that series drawn by Mark Silvestri for like 5 pages. Classic Mark Silvestri. Classic baseball ads. More of the same. Again, I'm not getting into the story. Don't know who these characters are. There's Cyber coming out of the water. I never cared for Cyber as a character. So they were able to sedate Wolverine. They brought him back to wherever. Muir Island, maybe? I mean, these two are part of Excalibur. Was she hanging out with Excalibur at the time? And again, they got Wolverine upside down. Always diagnosing him. Always checking him out. That's a cool, like, drawing of Wolverine. Story stuff, not much going on. I mean, maybe there is. I'm just kind of flipping through this really quick. These cards, I always hated these ones. Like, they're kind of cards, but not. Like, you'd have to tear it out, potentially damaging your comic, and then you'd have to cut these pieces yourself. They don't even, like, perforate them. What's the word? Introducing Marvel Master Prints. This is just fucking annoying back in the day. Oh, there's Saber. He's coming to fuck some shit up. Ain't he? Oh my god. Wolverine is... He's still the best there is at what he can do. But what he does is fucking crazy. There's his crazy claws. So, Wolverine's having a bad time. If you have your adamantium ripped out of you, you're gonna have a bad time. Oh my god, he like went at Kitty, but good thing she phased, apparently. Jesus. Nice oops, sorry, bumping shit. Nice perspective of Cyber in that hand. He's like, hey, you. Will you give me a manicure? What's dripping? Why is he oozing? Why are you dripping with goo? What's that from, guys? Cyclops giving you the finger. Oh, here we go back again, this way. Classic stare down. Cyber, Wolverine. Cyber, Wolverine. Cyber, Wolverine. Nice fight. I mean, what is with Cyber? What is... somebody tell me about Cyber in the comments. Is he... Like, what is his beef with Wolverine? Why do they not like each other? It seems like just a poor man's Sabretooth. Is he that violent? Is he that vicious? Why does he have claws? Where did he get this adamantium that, like, he's, like, laced with? But that's... Wait a minute. That's the end, I guess. That's the end of the comic. They fight for a bit. And Kitty phases Wolverine, and they're in the neutralization module. And then they slam Cyber in there, and then she phases Wolverine out. Cool, so they got Cyber in there. We kind of hit him until we get your powder back on. Alright. So, there you go. Daredevil when they try to make him cool and edgy. Don't miss the hot new look of Marvel's only swashbuckling superhero. And don't miss, like, a few issues later when they turn him back into his, like, actual cool outfit. Oh, what's this? Oh, yeah, I remember this shit. Let's see, Spider-Man X-Factor, that's cool. I guess, Venom the Mace, New Warriors, Ghost Rider, 2099. Is he a robot? I guess he'd have to be in the future. Alright. That was Wolverine, issue number 81. I've always liked these little, like, what do you call them? Corner box drawings, and I always like that picture of Wolverine standing there, smoking. Alright, so this is the one. I mean, it's Kind of a basic story, not much like crazy about it, but just some good Adam Kubert art. Very cool cover. I think this is like one of my favorite covers of all time. It goes up there with that cover of Wolverine strapped to that X done by Mark Silvestri. What are some of your favorite covers? Let me know. Okay. Omnia mutant. Everything changes. That's what it means. So here's Wolverine. He's hanging out where him and Mariko were going to have their wedding, so they must be in Tokyo. Nice. So Wolverine's kind of going on a tour of places. Like, he thinks he's going to die, from my understanding. Doesn't know how much he's going to survive. And here's Yukio. He probably banged her, right? He banged her. Bang, bang. And then there's a bunch of ninja. The Hand is out there waiting for him. He's got this sword strapped to his back. This is kind of cool. So he knows the Hand is down there. They're waiting for him. Trying to make my peace with my past. Can't do that by running away from it. Watch this for him. He gives up the sword. That's a cool image of the Hand. He's barefoot. Sometimes, like, these artists like to draw Wolverine's hair just fucking wild. Can you imagine that on Hugh Jackman or in live action? It's kind of like an afro, but not. That's like the most unique hairstyle in the fucking world. And so he's talking about how it's a beautiful day, it's a good day to die. And they're like, oh, it's a good thing that you think so. And he's like, yeah, I wasn't talking about me. So they wrap up his hands there. Pulls out his bone claws. Starts fighting. They throw a sword and it cuts him on the face, I guess. Yukio jumps in. She's got his back. And somehow she convinces all these guys that they're going after the wrong guy because the guy that they want is Wolverine, who has adamantium. This guy does not. Yeah. So, and he has a healing factor, but he continues to bleed, so they don't think it's the real Wolverine. So she stops the shit before it starts going down, really. She's good friends with Storm, so Storm clued her in, so she knows. So they go back, have some sake, I guess. That's a nice little moment there. You know, just focusing on them, kind of embracing as friends. No need for backgrounds. It's kind of interesting. I just realized, like, 6 panels on each of these pages. Where's how far that goes. Sorry. Nope, stop there. Just this opening bit. 6 panels on each of these pages of equal size. Sometimes they don't put the borders in. Kind of cool artistic choice. You don't want to do that all the time. The reader can start to tell the difference and get like a little bored with the layouts and stuff. So, but every now and then, especially for a short segment, it works. Then who the fuck is this guy? I know some of these guys based on like video. They showed up in video games. Like there's Elsie, but she's like a weird synthetic child, some kind of weird robot. And this is like a weird vampire. I mean, he's got fangs there. Vampire Man from Canada. I think we'll maybe figure it out. This is probably the first time I saw this guy. I saw him in that Wolverine Adamantium Rage video game later. I've been thinking about doing some streaming of video games. That might be fun. So he fucking hooks her up to a car battery and jump starts her. And so since she's a kid, she has a speech impediment. Holy smoke! A twerk? My batteries have been recharged. What year is this? 1994. Well, you just dated yourself. Good grief! 300 years have gone by since we put ourselves into system sleep. Android time travelers. That's right, mister. I'm LCD. It's like LCD, but LCD like television? Yeah, whatever. Do you know a Mr. Rogan who calls himself Wolverine? Oh, verily. In fact, why am I? Oh, Mr. Bloodscream or Bloodscream. Whatever. I think he's a mutant with vampire powers. It's kind of crazy. Come on, Mr. Blood Scream. Yeah, let's call him Blood Scream and let not me run and scream from you. We have to dig Albert out of the burial mound and jumpstart him. He's a Pierce-built android like me. Donald Pierce. How come she can say the R in Pierce, but not android? Pierce, android. It should be Pierce. Pierce. Pierce, former member of the Hellfire Club. Him and the Reavers fucked up Wolverine. In that, with that cover, they crucified him on that X. I named him after Einstein after I souped up his logic and memory. A savant automaton? He's right here. So yeah, like there's this android. Who can tell me? Who can explain Albert? He showed up in like those Mark Silvestri drawn issues of Wolverine, right? Robert, tell me. None of the worse for wear, despite the horrible time with the Sixika, where they set him on fire and made him won the gauntlet. No, you didn't miss an issue. It's a tale still to be told. What? Did they ever? Whatever. So yeah, this robot Albert, he looks like Wolverine, but with a better haircut. Horrific? What's that mean, mister? He looks just like Wogan. So they put him to the jumpstart him too. And so now he's up and running. Ooh, he wise like a wug, because this one is not human. So he convinces them that he's a mutant. And he might be, who knows? Vampire mutant. Oh look. We're back to the 6 panel deal. That's interesting. Helicopter's coming down. I remember all this from this comic. Now it makes more sense when looking at this shit. So how did Wolverine just leave and he's in Japan suddenly from these guys? Oh, hey Rusty. Did you hear me talking like a little girl? And you wanted to come say hi? Or is eating stuff on my table? I should just talk like that through the rest of it. So, okay, there's this young girl. What's her name? We'll find it. And I guess what was the deal with her? She's from an old issue of X-Men, I think, and Wolverine decided to like keep an eye on her. I think. But he hasn't been doing a great job, so part of his thing about like making peace with his past is checking on her. So, yeah, she keeps talking about the Samurai Protector. She remembers as a child. It's Wolverine, but she hasn't seen him in forever. Still with the 6-issue panel motif. I don't think I ever realized that. So these kids are bullying her. They don't believe her. They get into a fight. Wolverine comes up to help her, but she calls him a gaijin. No one can help me, but she doesn't realize who that Wolverine is, the one she's remembering as a kid. And she's like a foster kid or something, and whoever's like watching her is like being shits to her. This is kind of a cool 3 panels in one picture kind of a thing. And so Wolverine's checking on her. He sees like she's in a kind of shitty situation. These people don't really care about her. Wolverine's pretending he's like an authorized person to like a child protective services kind of thing, I guess, checking up. So they're like, okay, come on in. You can see where she sleeps and everything, and you can talk to her also. So he has a moment alone with her. So he starts telling her that, he's pretending that he's speaking to her on the behalf of a benefactor. And that, like, the benefactor didn't think that she'd be put in this situation. He's talking about himself. Like, he didn't know she was in this situation. She wants to help. She's like, the only person can help me is the good samurai. and she talks about how he will send a ninja to take her away from this place. That's what she thinks. And the guy there's like, "Oh, I'm so scared." And so Wolverine says like, "Hey, you're taking her money, so I'm going to take her." And this guy calls his bluff. Like, he doesn't, he's like, "You can't do anything legal. So get out of here before I call the cops." So Wolverine's kind of pissed off. So later that night, these two jackasses, again with the 6-panel thing, watching TV, and Wolverine shows up in his regular Wolverine outfit with his mask, but he's got like some nylons wrapped around his face to make him look more like a ninja, like a special ninja. So then here's Wolverine. That's a pretty cool money shot. And this sword, what is this sword called? It's not just a regular sword. It's like Silver Samurai sword, and it is also like really like sharp and dangerous and deadly. It's like a mystical weapon too, I think. And I think later, years later, they retcon what this sword can do, and it can like nullify a healing factor. So it's kind of like the only thing that can kill people like Wolverine or Sabretooth, potentially. I think that's how Wolverine kills Sabretooth for like a day. It was supposed to be this big thing. Wolverine finally kills Sabretooth, chops his head off with his sword, but no one stays dead. Sabretooth came back. It's a cool shot, though. It's a cool hero shot. So these assholes, they come and they like, you're that asshole from earlier, that gaijin with underwear on his head. So they get some golf clubs and what have you, and he just like takes a swipe, cuts both their shit as well as her drink. So scares the ever-living fuck out of him, takes the girl away, and gives her to Yukio. And then suddenly there's Silver Samurai. So Yukio's going to take care of her now. Silver Samurai comes up. And it was his sword. The honor sword is restored to the Ashida clan. So, for whatever reason, bargain was be made, and Wolverine gives him back that sword. Cool stuff. And then that's pretty much the end of the issue. Do comics do this nowadays, where it's just like a one-and-done storyline, just like a simple thing? I know it kind of connects into an overall theme of what Wolverine's going through, and him trying to survive and not having his adamantium and what he needs to do. But this is just kind of a cool little storyline that has nothing to do with nothing. And I don't know when they pick up with this character again, this little girl, if ever. But it's kind of some cool stuff. So, there you go. A couple issues of Wolverine by Adam Kubert. Cool stuff. Very cool cover. So, again, thank you for watching. Tell me some of your favorite covers in Marvel, DC, just comics, wherever. And, again, thanks for watching. And as always, I'll see you on the next video.